Okay, so material number 8. Let's start this from the beginning. It's made out of sand, straw, water, and linseed oil. Now, the water and the linseed oil are sold separately. Originally, they weren't because it was a lot cheaper to sell it to you as just linseed oil and water separately. However, I realized it became a lot more difficult to mix the material with water than put on a coating of linseed oil. So what I did was I mixed it with the water by using sunflower lecithin oil. It actually cured together pretty well. The reason we are using this for only up to 2-story buildings and 2-story high sculptures, though it is as strong as concrete, okay, all the materials are as strong as concrete, it is not as weather resistant as concrete is. Okay, it cannot just be used on its own. The linseed oil has to be mixed in order for it to harden. Then you have to coat it with our paint that has linseed oil mixed in with it also. Okay. At this time, though I do plan to mix in linseed oil with the paint, I'm still thinking that I have to mix it in with the water first in order to mix it in with the paint so it better sticks and binds to itself. So there's a lot of experimentation that has to be done with that. But as for now, it's ready to go. It is advised to put a layer of linseed oil on the paint. However, you don't have to. This paint is extremely strong. I made a bar of just the material and coated it with paint. The paint stuck, and I had to use it like a bar hand soap for almost 2 hours before it showed any sort of giving way or looking like it would break. Okay, though the paint came off, it stuck on there continuously, and then I soaked it for another hour to 2 hours before I could actually bend it to break it with my hands. So just that in itself is extremely water resistant. It's advised also to put the plaster in between the material and the paint because it makes it stronger and easier to put the paint on. And it also acts as a double insulation for the house. So just made out of material number 8 and paint, you'll go from 100 degrees to 60 degrees. However, you put the plaster, you'll go from 100 degrees to 40, maybe 30 degrees, just depending. So it makes it cooler so much faster. And it's not a requirement to put it in the shade to cool it down if you put the plaster on. Again, it is not as weather resistant as concrete. It's as strong as concrete, but it is not as weather resistant. We are working on more materials. That's why this is called material number 8, because it is part of a long line of materials that will be used for skyscrapers, highways, bridges, okay? These ones, after material number 8, are going to be the ones to use for that. Here's why we are separating materials instead of just making it all one big strong material and selling that. Resources. Though they are abundant resources, they are not enough resources. Okay? Though they are extremely easily accessible, they are hard to come by. In nature, they are extremely hard to collect. They are extremely hard to mix together and procure by man. Not to mention all the costs that we would have to do in order to sell one specific material. Okay? It would not be affordable for you. It would not be affordable at all if we sold one specific material. Okay? So it has to be separated. Though material number 8 is a process from a material called cob, we are not using cob. We will not ever use cob. We may use a dirt and straw mixture, or a clay and straw mixture for paint, or to mix in with something else. But the thing is, we use clay and straw, we're not going to have any paint. There will be no paint. We use dirt and straw, we will no longer have dirt to grow our food in. Oh, dirt's everywhere. Oh, dirt's abundant. Dirt has been mined too much. Dirt has been mined more than the stone for concrete. Okay, we are constantly mining dirt. We are constantly purifying dirt to go in our gardens. Sorry, it's cold season for me. And allergy season at the same time, so dirt is being used for our gardens and everything else. The dirt has given enough. Soil has given enough. Okay? We are using sand from places that are near beaches, but are not beaches. Okay, and we're only using it up to 2-story buildings, smaller buildings, houses like this even, okay, that are 1 story, but really big. Okay, the reason for that is not just all the reasons I just listed, not just those alone, but because after a certain height, because it is straw and sand, water and linseed, etc., it becomes very unstable, very unpredictable. It has not been tested for 3-story buildings. We will continue to do testing, but for now we know that it is okay for 2-story buildings. We have to push out material number 8 first in order to proceed in testing to see just how tall material number 8 can go, and then proceeding to test the other materials that we have made. Theoretically, it is a 13 numbered, how do I say? 13 material sequence, for lack of better terminologies. Theoretically, it goes up to 13. However, we cannot test any of those. None of those until material number 8 is put out first. And the reason it's material number 8 is because of all the other materials we were first able to get from Cobb and the mother material. We cannot ever disclose the mother material for many of reasons. The only thing we can tell you is that it is the mother material. Okay? That's not even the actual name we use in our studies, in our research. That is the name that we can give to the public, is mother material. Mother material. Okay? That is literally all y'all can know. Can't know anything else. And it's getting there. Things are going the way they're supposed to. However, you guys have to be patient for more weather resistant materials and materials that can be more structurally sound the bigger they get. Okay? Even a skyscraper is not made out of just concrete. The basis is made out of concrete. Then you have metal beams and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? I'm gonna make a second video. I gotta go feed my son. But for now, this is the first part of, I guess, a video. Alright, bye. Okay, so, anyway. The point is that we are actively working every day to start testing these other materials, okay, and to continue the paint with what it needs to be. Now, mixing the paint with the linseed oil is not tested yet. Theoretically, I will need to add sunflower lecithin to the paint in order to actually make it work. However, it's extremely experimental. For now, it's advised that if you want to add a layer of linseed oil on top of your paint, you can. We may even start making paint that is just regular paint and paint with linseed oil mixed into it. That way, if you don't want to spend the extra money to get the paint with the linseed oil in it, you don't have to. It's not a requirement to make it waterproof, to make the paint waterproof, to add the linseed oil. However, it does help to make it more waterproof. It will last longer and be more sustainable. So basically, these are the first steps. And a lot of patience is required in this, because right now, at this moment, the only one I've got helping me is my husband. And all he's doing is funding it. That's okay. It will eventually get to the point where I will have a large staff to help speed this process along. Right now, I'm just selling things at the flea market. But my back porch is a small little hub for this here in Georgia, and we have came a very, very long way. A very long way. And there's still a long, long way to go. But we'll get there. And eventually, we will be able to build our skyscrapers and our bridges with not even a fraction, 0.00001, 0.000, etc. 1% of the initial carbon monoxide and chlorine that we released into our environment. We're not even using mechanical linseed oil presses, nor will we ever. And the reason for that is because, one, the carbon monoxide, two, machines tend to use Freon to compress and keep cool. Not all machines, but most. And the fact of the matter is I don't know if oil presses do that. And I would much rather get a hand oil press than anything. Even if it's a large hand oil press where you have to use your whole body and shift out with another person. We're employing people. We are giving people jobs. That's all there is to it. It's as simple as that. And everything we do, down to the eggs that we grow and sell ourselves, the chickens, the plants, all of it is the most eco-friendly, organic that you can get, pest-free even, that you can ever get. If you're looking to revamp your civilization or do it correctly from the get-go to begin with, this is where to go. This is where we will be. And eventually, we will make planets. But we are not going to make planets for you until you can prove that you are responsible enough to. Well, responsible enough to, and responsible enough to take care of your own planet. So, when you're ready, as a civilization, when you are ready, we will be here. This is Bag of Hopes Co. And we are a corporation. But we are the very first, that we know of at least, non-profit corporation. And the steps are simple. The steps are simple as long as you follow the instructions. It is 12:23 in the morning here. Extremely tired. I still got 30 minutes to go before I have to ultimately go to bed. So that's what that's about. Why we're slurring our words. Y'all have a safe day, night, wherever you're at. And thank you for watching. Bye.